Welcome to the very first Chow and Chill live stream. This is to celebrate all of you guys getting me to 10,000 subscribers, which is crazy because this channel is not even a year old. So I really want to thank all of you guys, and therefore it's also kind of like a Thanksgiving bit. I also would like to show off what I am going to be eating here today. Let's see if the camera will work for me, which I think it should be. Oops, turned off the wrong thing. Okay, so right here I got some Shin black ramen. We got a smoked beef sausage, followed by 2 eggs, as well as some romaine lettuce. Now, some people have wondered, why do I cook my romaine lettuce? And that's just simply because I just stir fry it very quickly with some garlic powder, onion powder, as well as some white pepper. And then I'll put in a dash of fish sauce, and that gives it a little bit more flavor. And overall, that really enhances the experience for the romaine lettuce for me, instead of just eating it in salad form. I will say, so the very first ramen I've ever had was the Korean Nugs, which is like their seafood udon flavor. And that was actually my mother's favorite. So that was my first introduction into essentially ramen. I definitely had other ones before. Probably I wouldn't really have any memories of it, but that one's like the one that I definitely remember my mother making me. And it wasn't too spicy, it was pretty good. And, you know, as a traditional parent, she threw a lot of actually bok choy, which is not what I'm doing here, and would also throw in eggs. And then whatever meat was, you know, already pre-made by my dad, that would just be the quickest, easiest meal. And so to this day, I still will buy Nugs ramen, and it's great because it's already available in Walmart. It used to be that you had to go to a Korean store to get it in my hometown. But the fact that even Walmart now carries it is quite awesome. So that is like 100%. If Nongchim ever stops making that ramen, I'm gonna be extremely sad, because again, that is a connection between me and my mother. So I hope they never ever stop making it. But yeah, right now the question for all you guys that are watching is, what is your favorite ramen? Now that we got everything figured out here. So let's pop up some bits here. Girl in her passport has said, I need to try the bulldog ones. I saw them at an Asian store here. You absolutely do. You can start off, if you really want to, you can start off with the original, which is just in a black packaging. But if you do have this still in your area, you should try the bulldog curry. Now this is discontinued, so it's a little bit harder to find, at least in America, but depending on where you are, if you can still find the bulldog curry, that is a good one. Carbonara is also a really big flavor that a lot of people like. Now, I don't personally like the regular carbonara. I like the cream carbonara version. But yes, as far as bulldog ones, if you can find the curry and the carbonaras, those are really good. And if you really want the spice, go for the original or the 2X spicy. All right, we also have Crow. Welcome to the live stream. And you said, growing up eating top ramen, I can honestly say bulldog is amazing. Yes, especially in America. I don't really know what's going on with top ramen in America. The noodle is like mushy. It doesn't break very well. And then the flavors of the broth is also just nothing really to write home about. And as much as I'm probably gonna get heat for this, I prefer Maruchan instead over top ramen. Maruchan's noodles have a little bit more snap to it. And for me, I feel like having that texture along with the broth, which is more or less very similar to top ramen in America, I would say Maruchan beats it out. But yeah, Bulldog will definitely kick it up a notch for quite a bit. If you've never had anything that wasn't like the American versions of ramen. And if you are just joining in, our question right now is, what is your favorite ramen? So go ahead and leave that down into the live chat. If you have a fun story about it, go ahead. I'm gonna take another bite of this food here before it gets too soggy. All right, again, if you're joining just now, we're just hanging out. This is really more for, I guess, for me to just figure out how the live stream thing even works. I'm using OBS for the first time, doing like a very interactive live stream. I've used it for my work in terms of just sending a video signal out, but to actually try to figure out all this live chat stuff, there's a lot of cool things here. So we're gonna learn a little bit as we go along. I will say too, so since we're talking about Bulldog, Bulldog I had heard of for quite a while, and it wasn't until maybe 2 years ago that I had it for the very first time. And I didn't have the package version, I had the cup version, the big bowl cup version. And definitely when I tasted it, I was like, okay, yeah, there's a lot of spice coming through in a good way. It was flavorful, but it was definitely one of the most spicy ramens I've ever had up until that point. And I could kind of feel myself sweating when I ate it. And I feel like everyone should definitely give it a try in their lifetime, because I feel like sometimes people think they don't like spicy food, but it's because they haven't had the right spicy food. Like in, because sometimes when people say, oh, I like spicy food, and they'll pull out Tabasco, which I do like. Tabasco sauce is great. But it's like a very low standard, because it's that traditional vinegary type of hot and spicy, which some people love. I like it in certain applications, but I don't like it in everything. So I say, well, have you tried sriracha before? And then they try sriracha and they're like, whoa, there's so much flavor in here. And then they'll put it on, you know, their omelets, which is a great way to start having an introduction to sriracha. Put it in your burgers. If you know you really can't handle spice, then I would mix it with ketchup. Use that in your fries. And that will kind of like help you out here. Okay, we got a couple more bits here. Let's see, Crow, you said, in my area of Idaho, we have the original and carbonara only. Watching your videos, I had no idea they had so many others. Huh. I mean, that makes sense. I think in America, the original and carbonara are by far the most popular flavors. So I guess depending on what store you go to, that might just be all they carry. Even Costco in my area, they primarily sell actually just the carbonara, and I have seen them sell like the original one, but they're all in the big bowls. So I would say if you go to like a super Walmart, like a very good, very legit one, not one that kind of sort of has a produce aisle, but rather they actually have a full-on grocery store, they most likely will also have the habanero lime, which I believe is another really popular one, and rosé. So Crow, I really hope you get to try all the different flavors that you saw me take in the video. There's so much more than just the original and carbonara. So hopefully you'll get to taste that again soon. And then a girl in her passport says, I now want to find the curry one in Athens. Yeah, I hope you do too. It's really delicious. And I'm just so sad that they stopped making it. But apparently they've made, I think it's a coconut crab curry flavor that they just released in Thailand, I think. And that sounds amazing. And I'm pretty sure if you guys watched my video about how Bulldog basically doesn't give America like the best flavors, that one's probably not gonna show up anytime soon. And I will probably have to try to import that at some point. So yeah, if I ever actually am able to find that, definitely will make probably a YouTube short on it. I'm gonna take another bite. What is your favorite ramen topping? As far as ramen toppings go, I love a good soft-boiled egg. I have not perfected that. I've only done it like a few times, but that nice soft-boiled egg that some ramen shops have is delicious. And if you can have Chow Chill pork, that I feel like just those two combinations is perfect. There is this one ramen shop that I ate at with one of my best friends. It was in Kansas. It was a really legit ramen shop too. Although I don't think they had, some ramen shops, they will literally use anime characters that I'm pretty sure they didn't license to, but this one had basically Naruto all over their advertising pamphlets and stuff like that. But anyways, when I was there, they had this like really awesome, just like fried garlic chip that they would drizzle, or not drizzle, they would kind of like just put next to the corn. Sometimes Japanese ramen shops, you'll get some corn, and that tasted amazing. So yeah, between the soft-boiled egg, Chow Chill pork, and some fried garlic chips, that just boosts the ramen flavor immensely for me. If you're just now tuning in, anytime I'm just gonna start like eating, I will mute my microphone, because as much as some people, I feel like they enjoy hearing maybe just the initial slurp part. Not all people, but definitely the all chewing part, you don't need to hear that. So when I mute myself and you can't hear me while I'm eating, that is why you can't hear me. I don't want you guys to, I don't want your ears to suffer. Yeah, the coconut crab curry, that I want to try that so bad. I need to like, if this channel gets like huge enough that these companies will notice and be like, hey, we got some new flavors in another region, we're gonna send it to you. I'm like, do it, because I will taste it. I have tried reaching out to like Nongchim, Samyang, and I would get like a very PR response. I did get like one legit response, but then they said like, oh, but you know, you need to talk to our PR. So then they sent me back to PR, and I was like, it was just this loop, did not work. So channel's not big enough yet. Hopefully sometime soon. Again, the question is what's your favorite ramen topping if you are just joining us? And Crow says we have a ramen place and they add fish cakes. Yes, I love a good fish cake. The Japanese one, the oh my gosh, it's in Naruto's name. Uzumaki? Wow, I don't remember. It's been a long time since Uzumaki, I think is actually, yeah, his name. Yeah, those fish cakes with a round spiral, really awesome. They also, if you've ever had like hot pot, a Chinese hot pot, we have something called yuan, which is basically fish cakes, but it's a fish ball. And that I remembered, the first time I remember like having hot pot with my parents. It's just like this huge thing, you know, it's a very big deal. It's very easy because we didn't necessarily use chicken broth or any sort of complex broth. We didn't use any complex broth. It was literally just water. But when you throw in the fish balls, as well as the slices of beef, pork, the vegetables, and all that stuff, and then the Chinese barbecue sauce that we would use for the hot pot, that's gonna flavor everything. But yeah, as far as like fish cakes, they're very good. I'm glad you enjoyed them too. This channel will be huge, mark my words. Sorry, I just hit my mic. I really appreciate that. There's definitely more fun content coming in. It's a little bit hard for me to try to do all of that right now because of the holidays. Pretty much like everybody, just in general, once you get to basically after Thanksgiving and then all the way through December, it's just a mad rush. And so I don't know, I'll probably be making a couple shorts here and there throughout December because I do have some like really little ones that don't need like a long video. So I'll probably do like some short form stuff just to make sure YouTube still likes me, because YouTube did not like my last video, which was all about the Taco Bell Baja Blast pie, which I still have basically all of it. Like whatever I ate, that was it. And then I put it back into the freezer. I don't know when I'm gonna, I guess I probably should eat it at some point. Or maybe I'll invite some friends over and be like, hey, have you had this Taco Bell Baja Blast pie? Have some. And I'm sure most of them will be like, this is disgusting. It's good. It's sweet. Any kid would love to eat it. I just checked the Asian stores in Athens, no curry, but they have the hot carbonara. I would, yeah, definitely try the carbonara. I don't think it's that spicy. I don't know what's your spice level, but carbonara is a really, really great place to start. As well as you said, they also have some Shin ones. I'm eating Shin right now. And as far as I know, in your area, you should have access to Shin kimchi and probably the tom yum as well as the original. So I would say just enjoy all of them. All of them were really great in my video. I loved every last one of those. But let's ask one more ramen question here. And that is, do you prefer your ramen noodles firm or soft? For me, I want it firm. I don't want it to be chewy and mushy. And we're talking about instant ramen here. Not talking about like ramen that you get at a shop, because there's been some comments, and I do read all your comments. Some people get really, really, really mad that I say ramen and I just put it all under one umbrella. And that's because, in my opinion, if I'm talking about ramen and the first thing I show is packaged ramen or instant ramen, it's pretty much inferred that I am talking about instant ramen. But some people, they get very, very pissy and they say, no, you shouldn't be calling it ramen. That's terrible. You call yourself Asian? And I was like, oh, okay. But yeah, so I prefer firm. I prefer to undercook my instant ramen, and that way it stays firm longer, and preferably it won't soak up too much of the broth and get too soft, which I should probably take some more noodles here before they get super soft. So far, firm. We agree. Yeah, I don't feel like anybody would want soggy ramen noodles. So that makes the most sense to me. But let's dive off the food topic, because this is, Chow and Chill. We got plenty of things we can talk about. We don't have to talk about food, even though that's primarily what I've been doing on this channel. So let me pose a different question here. I am so sorry. I did not unmute my microphone. Again, we are learning here today. I'm learning today. You guys are fine. I'm so sorry that you guys have to watch me fumble this live stream. Again, this is my first time trying to do an interactive live stream. And again, I'm muting my microphone for you guys that are just tuning in. I'm muting my microphone anytime I eat something because I don't want you guys to hear me chewing all that stuff, because nobody needs to hear that. Especially since the microphone's right here, so you're gonna hear everything. Okay, sorry. We're back. The question now is to you guys in chat. Recent TV, movie, or anime that you like. Let's talk some shows. I love TV shows and all that stuff. So I'll go first. My favorite shows that I've been watching, I've already finished all of them, but there's 3 of them. One is Reacher, that's on Amazon Prime, and it's based off the Jack Reacher novels. I never knew about the Jack Reacher novels until I saw the Tom Cruise movie, which was just called Jack Reacher. And it's probably one of my favorite movies. You know, probably top 20, I would say. It's on the top list. Like, if someone doesn't know what to watch, I'll say, have you seen Jack Reacher before? I just love the pacing of the story. The story is really well done. The visual storytelling is also done very well. And Tom Cruise, I know a lot of people did not like his interpretation because he is a short stature. And if you've read the Jack Reacher novels, he's supposed to be like this, I think it's like 6'5", built like an absolute tank. And you look at Jack Reacher, even though he's next to short actors, and he's got a muscular build, but you can just kind of tell that he's not that tall. And I was trying to figure out why you just inherently know this, even if you've never seen him in real life. And my reasoning was, the reason he does not look intimidating on screen is because if you look at a door, you look at a table, you look at a street lamp, you look at a car, there is so many things around him that makes you just inherently understand that he's not 6'5", and he's not built like an absolute unit. The only way that they could have made that version of Jack Reacher possible, in my opinion, as a film creator myself, you would literally have to build sets where everything is smaller to scale, as if Tom Cruise was 6'5". That is the only way you're gonna be able to make him on screen look like the actual Jack Reacher novels. But otherwise, yeah, Jack Reacher on Amazon Prime. Alan Richardson, I think, or is it Rick? I am so sorry, Alan, if you're ever watching this. I'm sorry I don't remember your last name. I thought it was like Richardson or Rickardson, something like that. He does an amazing job. Season 1 was amazing. I loved all the casting characters that they did. And Alan is literally built like a unit. And when I saw his take on Jack Reacher, I was like, I'm hooked. So that is my first one that I love. I see we got a couple people here, so I don't want to just yak about what I like. Let's see what you guys like. Other chat people might want to know. Crow says, show called Welcome to Derry on HBO Max. I don't know if I've seen that before. Welcome to Derry. Is that the... I feel like that's was that the show that takes place in like somewhere in the UK? I need to look at this. Excuse me for a second, guys. Welcome to Derry. Is it? Oh, no. That is. Oh, you even said this. I'm so sorry, Crow. Origin story of Pennywise, a clown from It. Fun story. It scared the living shit out of me. Pardon my French, but I'm gonna say it. It scared the living shit out of me. The very first movie. How old was I? I must have been 7, maybe 8 at most. And I was at one of my childhood friend's house, and his older sister, for whatever reason, was watching It. I didn't think much of it because, you know, me and my friend, we were just playing. And at some point I decided to watch, just glance over at the screen, and it was the scene in the bathroom, if I remember correctly. Crow, you're gonna have to tell me if this is true. I think it's in the bathroom. And then I think I remember seeing the sink and then just blood everywhere or something like that. I remember seeing that. And then I think Pennywise shows up maybe in like a little flashback or something. And I think he's, you know, was coaxing one of the main character kids to go towards, I think, the street rain gutter thing. That was like the only 2 things I can remember. And to this day, I have not watched it at all. I probably will. I probably will at some point. Maybe this will be a Jason Does Shit episode. Me like going back and trying to fight my fears, because I mean that's quite a few decades ago. I still have not mustered up the courage to watch it because I remembered how it made me feel. Like intrinsically, I remember how it made me feel when I saw blood everywhere. And I was like, and then clowns. Oh, clowns. I can't stand clowns. I'm sure they're all very nice people, but it's just something about the makeup. It really scares me. So anyways, maybe that's going to be an episode. Jason conquers his fear and finally watches the original It. And maybe I'll end up watching Welcome to Derry, as well as I think the new It movie. But yeah, that's one movie I have not tried to watch, as well as Halloween Part 2, I believe. Then I haven't even seen Halloween 1, but I remembered Chow Chill. This is story time, guys. I was playing in the living room. It was during Halloween, October, and my dad was watching Halloween 2. It had just started on TV, and he was watching it. And I said, "Dad, what are you watching?" And he goes, "Oh, I'm watching Halloween." Now, kid version me is like, Halloween, that means candy. That means trick-or-treating. This means happiness. Not realizing the visual language of the scene I was watching was obviously a horror film. And so I'm watching it with my dad, just sitting there through the opening sequence. And the opening sequence, spoiler alert, is like this EMT, and they're working on someone, and suddenly the hand blasts out and then sticks it like right through the skull of one of the characters, and I ran out of the living room. I'm sure my dad was having a great time, but I ran out of the living room because that frightened me. So I guess that's 2 movies that maybe I need to do probably next year for Halloween. OBS? No, don't do that. Sorry. Yeah. Maybe I'll watch some scary stuff next year, because why not? Let's see. I know that was story time on my end, but let's keep let's get you guys involved here. A girl in her passport is watching a doc called Ghosts and the Diplomat. I mean, that sounds cool. Definitely have to, actually, let me type that down for myself, because I would like to, based on all y'all's recommendations, I would love to watch some of this stuff. So let me write this down in a notepad for myself. Okay. And Crow, you also said you were scared as well from the It movie. I mean, makes sense. My goodness. It's like a classic, right? I tried to read it, and the book is terrifying. Yeah. I don't know if I'm going to read the book. But Crow also said, yeah, the blood scene was iconic. So sorry, guys, if you are just joining us, I'm doing a very terrible job here of being a good stream. I'm also just like learning how to do all this stuff. So if you're just tuning in now, this is my first time doing live streams. So it's hard. I have a very newfound appreciation for live streamers. Like the fact that they're looking at the screen, they're looking at their, you know, what's going on, they're looking at the chat, and then I'm really fumbling on a lot of things here. But if you are just joining in, we are currently talking about recent TV, movies, or animes that you like. So go ahead and throw that down in the comment. Let's have a conversation. Again, this is just a very chow and chill. Hopefully, maybe you guys are eating, depending on what time zone you're at. Yeah. Speaking of eating, I'm really neglecting my bowl of ramen here. So I'm going to take a bite. I'm going to mute my microphone and not forget to unmute this time. All right. I remember to unmute my microphone this time. So yes, let me know in the chat what's something that you've recently are watching. So far, we're actually talking about horror films because we have Delicate Genius. What's going on? Thank you so much for joining the live stream. And you said that you watched The Shining at 7 and it made you a lifelong horror fan. I have not watched The Shining. I know of it, and I probably should. Honestly, this is probably next year, Halloween. Definitely just gonna have a Halloween episode where, like I said, I'm gonna watch the original It movie, watch Halloween 2 that I ran away from, and I should probably watch The Shining because it's an absolute iconic film. The only things that I know about The Shining is the only thing I know about Shining is what the two twin girls. I think the elevator, right? Within the same scene, bunch of blood coming out of the elevator. And is it the one where like he's axing through the door? I think those are the only 3 images that I remember about The Shining. So yeah, I will probably need to just watch 3 horror films next year and see what's going on. Yeah, I have not seen The Shining. Red drum, red drum. Okay, yeah. I mean, this is funny. We've just been talking about horror films. I offered up an action film, and all y'all talking about horror films. But I guess if we're going to be talking about horror films, I do watch them. Excuse me. I do watch them. Not a lot. And generally speaking, I would love to watch it with people. And the one that I really enjoyed was The Ring, or Ringu, depending on which version you've watched. But the first time I watched was The Ring. And I remember everyone talking about it. And when I watched it, I was like, this is scary. It sure was, but in a different way. So have you guys watched The Ring before? I'm assuming you guys have. If you guys are talking about all this horror film stuff, I'm assuming you've watched The Ring. But yeah, let me know in the chat. Have you watched The Ring? I'm gonna move on to a slightly different topic. Let's talk anime because, again, I do read all your comments and I see everyone's, when you guys have your profile picture, there's a lot of anime characters that I see you guys have. And so let's talk favorite anime. In fact, let me change this question here. I'm asking you about your favorite anime. I just yacked about how I grew up with watching anime as well as American cartoons like Looney Tunes, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, all that good jazz. And I was very confused because I would ask my classmates in elementary school, I'd be like, hey, do you like that cartoon about the cat with a pocket that can pull out a bunch of different inventions? I'm specifically referencing Doraemon. And I was confused because a lot of the kids were like, what are you talking about? What cat? What cartoon? We have no idea what you're talking about. So eventually when I found out or figured out my little childhood brain full of imagination, when I finally figured out, hey, Chinese cartoons and Japanese cartoons don't really exist in America. So favorite anime, I would have to say, I mean, Doraemon is an absolute classic. And I feel like most kids should watch it just because it's so much fun. And there's a lot of life lessons in there too that you eventually kind of realize that you learned through that cartoon. But I mean, you can just call me pretty standard. I loved, Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, Naruto, One Piece, Pokemon, especially when they came to America. That was a huge deal. I loved watching Pokemon. Just the thought, like, how many of you guys watched Pokemon growing up? And did you have like that thought of like, what an awesome world this is? What is it, like when you're 10 or 12, you can just walk out and have your own adventure. Like cash didn't really seem like it was a thing. They just went from town to town. They could go to the Poke Center and just like hang out, catch a bunch of different Pokemons and just travel the world. I mean, that sounds great to me. So yeah, I'm looking at all the comments here. I'm muted, I'm back. So again, I'm so sorry, but I'm guessing maybe you guys didn't really watch anime because I'm not seeing too much about it here, which is perfectly fine. This is Chow and Chill. In fact, guys, if you have a question, go ahead and throw that down in the comments. And we can, I mean, I don't have to ask all the questions. You guys can pose a question and I can throw it out there on a chat and we'll just chat about it. Crow said, definitely One Piece, yeah. I am so far behind on One Piece. We're talking like many, many seasons. I don't remember where I left off when I was watching it actively. I'm pretty sure the last place I left off was when they finally descended from Skypiea. So Crow, if you're watching that, you're probably like, dude, you are so far behind. And I don't know how many months and years it's going to take me to even remotely catch up. Is it even still going? I think it is. Delicate Genius, Cowboy Bebop, and Chainsaw Man. Love Cowboy Bebop. It was the soundtrack that did it for me. I love the soundtrack, and I still listen to it to this day. Just listening to Tank and Bad Dog No Biscuit and Rush, those are my 3 favorite songs from Cowboy Bebop. I haven't seen Chainsaw Man. I've heard a lot about it. I have no idea what it's about. I shouldn't say heard. I know of it. It's been referenced. But I should probably give that a watch. I know you like Fat Electrician, Steve1989, oops, wait a minute. Can I see this? Who are your other favorite YouTubers? Ah, that's a good question. Who are my other favorite YouTubers? So I'm a bit of a techie nerd. So I'll watch like Linus Tech Tips, MKBHD, and some other tech reviewers. But as far as like normal YouTubers, I guess you could say, I do enjoy Joe Santagato. Joe Santagato is hilarious. I remembered watching his series of like the people of Walmart. Sorry, Walmart. I say Walmart. And some people get very offended. Not offended. They're just like, why do you call it Walmart? I don't know. It's just how I pronounce Walmart. He did like a really, really funny series on the people of Walmart and also other stuff. Like his commentary is hilarious. And he seems like a genuinely really good guy as well. So Joe Santagato, I definitely watch. Who else do I watch? You know what? Let's make this, let me look. Let me see who I'm all subscribed to. Do you guys get into that problem where you're subscribed to so many people, and then when someone asks you a question like this, who do you watch? And I'm like, who do I watch? Let's see. Subscribers list. Let's see here. Accented Cinema. Really great video essays, especially on like Asian films. I also watch Eddie Burback. He's hilarious. I discovered him when he did his whole Margaritaville thing. YouTube served it up to me. I was like, wow, this guy's great, hilarious. And of course, if you watch Eddie Burback, you probably watch Drew Gooden as well. I really enjoy Drew Gooden. He's really fun. First We Feast, obviously, all the Hot Ones references that I talk about. And I have like a whole bunch of people here, but I'm looking at like who do I automatically watch the moment they post something. And Fat Electrician is definitely one of them. He is hilarious. If none of you guys in chat know who I'm talking about, check out The Fat Electrician, and then you can check out his second channel, The Fat Files. His commentary and his just overall demeanor, just so funny. I do watch Curtis Connor. Also Lindsay Ellis when she used to post more on YouTube. I think she probably only does more like subscription stuff now, maybe? Or maybe she stopped making videos altogether. I think that's probably it. I can't really see any other ones where I like immediately watch their things. So those are my favorite YouTube people that I watch. Okay, hopefully I won't forget to mute myself this time. Give me a second. Okay, unmuted. Next question from T-Devil. What's going on, T-Devil? Thank you so much for joining the stream. Really enjoy having you here. And you asked me, do I like to play video games? Yes, I do like to play video games. I don't play nearly as much as I used to when I was a kid, but it is something I want to kind of get back into. Some people have suggested that I start a gaming channel. Considering how badly I am fumbling this entire live stream, I need some practice. But video games, let's answer your question. Yes, I do like to play video games. I love the retro games from, do they call it retro now? I guess so. I love Super Nintendo games. I love Sega Genesis games. Like Super Nintendo, the ones that I played the most was Contra 3, Earthbound, Secret of Mana, and the Lion King I had. Yeah, the Lion King was also a really good one. Hard, but it was good. And that's, oh, Legend of the Mystical Ninja, or also known as Gambare Gambare Goemon. Those 5 games I played a lot on the Super Nintendo. Sega Genesis, I was like Streets of Rage 2. Oh, Streets of Rage 2 is by far the best beat 'em up game ever known to man. I love that game. And the music soundtrack is amazing. I also played, you know, Sonic 1, 2, 3, Sonic and Knuckles. Like all 3 of those games were just phenomenal. And then my favorite co-op game outside of Streets of Rage 2 was Toe Jam and Earl Panic and Funkatron. One of my childhood friends had that game, and we played the living crap out of that game. But as far as like a little bit, you know, further along the generation, I enjoyed my Nintendo 64. I played Smash Brothers like crazy, the original Smash Brothers. So Pikachu was my character. I did very good damage with Pikachu. I remembered I was at my local comic shop and they had this gigantic TV screen and they just had Smash Brothers, and people coming into the comic shop, you could just play if you wanted to. And one time we were doing just, you know, regular Battle Royale, and, you know, I got my Pikachu character and I proceeded to tear all the other people down so fast, especially once I got that baseball bat in my hand, it was over. So people were just like, oh, he won again. And he's like, that's not fair. You're too good. And I said, I've never done this before, but do you just guys want to do a team battle where it's me versus 3? So when you're in team battle, you can't really hurt your teammate. So they're like, yeah, let's do that. Let's see if we can take you down. I still won. Again, I don't know. Pikachu was just maybe Pikachu was a stacked character. I don't know. I don't think Pikachu actually hit that hard, but I preferred having speed over strength. So that's the kind of player I am. Let's jump next generation. Huge DDR player back in the day. I'm Asian, you know. Played so much DDR. I was the first person in my entire hometown to actually beat Max 300 on Heavy. And then I was the first person to actually get an A on Max 300. So played the crap out of DDR. And then once we got to like Xbox, loved Halo. Halo 1, Halo 2, up to Halo 4? Do I have Halo 4? Did I play Halo 4? I don't actually know. I can't remember now. Because I never bought an Xbox One. No, I did play Halo 4. Didn't play Halo 5 or any of the other ones. But no, I do like video games. Sorry, T-Devil. This is probably like a very long-winded bit, but yeah. I mean, do you guys, aside from T-Devil, do you guys play video games? What's your favorite? What's your favorite system? I'm gonna say Super Nintendo is probably my favorite system. But otherwise, more recent games, I just really haven't been playing a whole lot. I've been trying to get back into it. I would like to play Borderlands again. Borderlands 1 and Borderlands 2. Those were some really, really good games. So, let's see, Delicate Genius says, not a big video game player, but my favorite is Katamari Damacy. I've never played that game. I remember people talking about it. Is that the one where like you roll around and you're just like collecting things as you get bigger? Is that the game I'm thinking about? But yeah, I haven't played that game before. Let's see, I've played PlayStation console since the PS2 days and had a GameCube. Oh man, GameCube I think had a lot of good games on it. I don't actually know, but I feel like a lot of people have a really big soft spot for the GameCube. I did not have that console. and all the other consoles up to the Switch. T-Devil, I actually want to ask you a question about the Switch. So not too long ago, I was thinking about getting a Nintendo Switch. I don't have one. And the main reason is because I was just like, you know, it's so cool. It's a console that you can take with you, or you could just consoleize it at home. And then when I was about to pull the trigger on buying one, they announced the Nintendo Switch 2. So I was like, oh, maybe I should just wait. So T-Devil, I'm really curious, do you have the Nintendo Switch 2? Do you think it's worth it? I think the video game prices all got hiked up or something like that, from what I remember reading. So if you do have a Switch 2, what are your thoughts about it? I would love to know. Okay, next question we have. What accompaniments do you like to add to your bulldog ramen? Ooh. My bulldog ramen. Definitely a fried egg. That's like my standard for almost everything. Fried egg. Do I like to add anything else? I haven't done this yet, but now that I'm thinking about it, like, I would love to add some fresh green onions. I think that would be very nice, just like chopped up into the tiny little circles. I think some fresh green onions in there would be good. Otherwise, the pork barbecue ribs that I still haven't made a video about, but thinking about it. I love adding the pork rib meat because it's fatty. It kind of cuts into the spice a little bit, and then therefore it's a much better experience overall instead of just eating like the raw flavor of bulldog. So I would say those three things. I would do a fried egg, nice runny yolk, chop up a little bit of green onions, sprinkle on top of that, and then some nice, very tender pork ribs. Those are my favorite. Oh, dude. How is this going to show up? Hey, Crow, thank you so much, man. $5 super chat. Really appreciate the support. You started with Xbox, but switched to PlayStation because of the exclusive games. Okay. There was one PlayStation game that I played, PlayStation 2, and I did own the PlayStation 2 and the Xbox at the same time, but after that, I'm not really sure what I would do. But PlayStation 2, when it was an exclusive, I loved Metal Gear Solid. I didn't say that in my initial thought, but Metal Gear Solid 2, amazing. Do you guys do this? Like, I do this with some animes, but this was probably the first video game that I actually treated it as if it was an anime. So what I mean is when you have a super awesome intro or opening and you just let that play, like Attack on Titan. When I watched Attack on Titan, I would let that intro opener play because I loved it so much. Metal Gear Solid 2, that intro scene and the music by Harry Gregson Williams, I let that play every time I turned on the PS2, because before I felt like I couldn't start playing the game unless that sequence played and got me like really riled up. So Crow, did you play Metal Gear Solid 2? Or probably all of it? That's the only Metal Gear Solid game I played. But man, that game was a game changer for me. But thank you so much, Crow. Thank you so much for the donation. I really, really appreciate it. I'm gonna, that's gonna come to good use. Any of your super chats and donations basically go right back into the channel. Right now I'm scripting this next video that it's gonna be a lot of fun. Spoiler alert, it's not gonna be ramen based. I do have more ramen stuff, like, well, I mean, you can kind of see on my shelf here, but there is another huge ramen video coming, but it's not going to be coming probably until maybe, I don't know, sometime in early 2026, because that one's going to be a doozy. So again, Crow, Thank you so much for the $5 donation. All right, T-Devil, thank you so much for answering. You said you haven't gotten to Switch 2 yet because it doesn't feel like a big enough upgrade. Okay. With only a handful of games at the moment, I'm staying with my regular Switch. That is, I mean, that is very fair. Because I feel like the only thing I remember hearing, basically, you know, it's like, oh, we got Mario Kart World, which I do love Mario Kart. Mario Kart is such a great game. But yeah, that's definitely fair. If there's not a lot of games for it yet, there's no reason to buy it. And I feel like, even though I talked about like wanting to buy a Switch, quite honestly, I just want to do what any kid my age would have wanted to do when they were younger, which was like, I want to play like my Super Nintendo, my Sega games on the go. And so I might actually just end up buying a retro handheld, something that runs off of Android or Linux, or possibly just using one of my old iPhones as a retro handheld player. So yeah, that's probably what I might do. Thank you, T-Devil, for answering my question about the Switch 2. Katie Koo says, man after my own heart, fried egg, fresh grained onions, pork rib meat. I mean, what's not to like? That is such a, I mean, that just makes sense. But again, I haven't done the fresh green onion in my Bulldog, so that will be the next thing I try. Earned. All right, Delicate Genius. What are some of your favorite foods besides ramen, and can you cook them? So let's see. My favorite foods besides ramen, sushi. I love sushi. Can I cook it? No. I've never attempted to go buy sushi grade fish, and I definitely do not have a knife that's sharp enough for me to like slice into the meat correctly without tearing it apart. But I love sushi. Love pizza. I've made my own pizza, kind of. I bought like a store-bought already made dough and have made pizza before, but yeah, I love pizza. Burgers, love burgers, and yeah, made my own hamburgers and cheeseburgers before. What else do I like? I guess it's like almost every unhealthy food you can think of. Love all that stuff. Oh gosh, there has to be something else. Give me a steak. Yeah, steak. Steak and sushi. Probably top tier goodness. Love steak and sushi. Actually, you know what? Hold up. Let me throw this. Because a lot of you guys found me on this channel because of my ramen video. But let's see. Let's ask the question to the chat. What do you like besides ramen? So I feel like a lot of us are ramen heads here. So let me also pose that question to the chat. Okay. All right. What do you like besides ramen? Yeah. Delicate Genius, what do you like besides ramen? That was a good question. I mean, I really want to travel to South Korea at some point because, oh, that's another YouTube channel I love to watch, Korean Englishmen. The time that I've watched Korean Englishmen and they go to South Korea and they just show off all the delicious foods, those, I would eat everything there. And to my British friends, apparently some people did not take kindly in my very original ramen video, the very first one, where I made a joke about people in England that their spice level reference standard is a boiled potato. It was a joke, guys. Like, I'm pretty sure most people knew that I was joking. It's the thought that British people can't handle spice is not true. It's completely dependent on your own palate. Like, it doesn't matter where you're from, because you have people from countries that are known for eating spicy foods and they can't handle spice. Like, it's just how you're built. So, but some people took some major offense to that. But yeah, so we got some people coming in here. Let me pop that question away. We got Mike. Pizza. Absolutely. Pizza. It's got all your food groups. It's the most healthy thing in the world next to a sandwich. So pizza is the best way to go. Crow, being from Idaho, potato in any form. Honestly, I love potatoes. French fries, baked, mashed, grilled. Well, grilled? Is that the right word? I mean, I'm sure you could grill it. But actually, Crow, this one's for you. Since you're from Idaho, what were your thoughts on the movie The Martian, if you've seen it? There was a movie theory episode that kind of dived into The Martian. Spoiler alert, potato is like a really, really big part of that movie. But so if you've watched it, I don't want to spoil it for anybody, because if you haven't seen The Martian yet, you all should go watch it. It's a really well done movie, hard science, except for like maybe one little bit that's not quite hard science. But it is a great movie. So Crow, what are your thoughts on that movie about potatoes? Would you live off of it forever and only potatoes? Delicate Genius comes in. Barbecue. Love a good... Delicate Genius. We are best friends. I still remember you. I still remember your first comment. We are best friends, because medium rare is the only way to have a steak. Guys, y'all have to hold on. You know what? Let me learn here. I'm gonna create a poll, because medium rare, Delicate Genius, is the only way to have a steak, and I'm so glad that you do that. We are best friends. We're totally best friends now. Let's see, you also said, love those guys in Jolly. Absolutely. T-Devil coming in. I'm really hoping for a Bond Touch necklace for Christmas. It's a necklace that records the heartbeat of a loved one. Oh. I've never heard of that. A Bond Touch necklace records the heartbeat of a loved one. I almost feel like... if you had one of those, and it probably exists, I'm not going to look it up yet, but I bet it exists, where because it's a necklace, it's probably, maybe there's a Bluetooth version and it's connected to your phone, and probably, like, depending on how you want to set the frequency, that it would kind of record the heartbeat if it can, like wherever it rests, but record the heartbeat, and then it sends it off to your loved one. So if you guys are like apart, far apart, you can hear each other's heartbeats in almost real time. I bet something like that exists. It has to. Let's see. I have a DoorDash problem. Is it a problem though? I don't know. I mean, DoorDash is such a fascinating concept when it came out, because, before DoorDash, it was like pizza got delivered, specific catering got delivered, and maybe some sandwich shops had delivery. But I guess in like maybe New York City, I'm totally guessing here, but with like bike messengers or whatnot, they could probably just go pick up your food for you. But the whole idea of DoorDash becoming a thing, and you could literally get almost any restaurant that you want your food delivered. That's just awesome. Let's see. Wax CPC, I like my steak cooked. Medium rare though, right? Right? Let's see. Crow says, I think I would like to imagine I can survive on potatoes. The movie did great on breaking it down. In my opinion, it's false. You need other major food groups. Yes. I tried to look for the blog from the Washington Potato Association or something that Matt Pat referenced. I couldn't find the blog for whatever reason, but supposedly that guy survived on potatoes for 90 days. And in Matt Pat's video, he said, you technically couldn't quite survive on potato all the way because I think you technically would still get a vitamin C deficiency. Because I guess potato might have a little bit of vitamin C in it, but not enough. Not enough for you to die from scurvy. So he basically said, like, if you ate only potatoes, you just had to make sure you took the occasional multivitamin to make sure you don't, you know, croak. But yeah, I mean, meat and potatoes, I could probably eat that for the rest of my life. Like, give me steak, ribs, and hash browns all day long. I would love that. T-Devil, you said there is one kinda. It's called Bond Touch Bracelet that uses your input to send a signal to another paired bracelet. It's either a small sound or vibration. You know, hold on, let me write this in my note about this whole like Bond necklace and Bond bracelet. Because that's really cool. I don't think I've ever heard of that before, or maybe someone did and I didn't remember it, but Bond necklace and bracelet. That's just a very thoughtful gift for you and a loved one. So T-Devil, I hope. Did you say you were getting one? You're hoping for one. Sorry, I'm going back up through the... You said you're hoping for one. Yeah. I hope you get that. I think that's a really awesome gift. And for people that are watching the stream, if you have a loved one, T-Devil just gave you a really awesome gift idea. But okay. So the poll came in. I don't think I'll actually be able to show this on live stream, so it's just, yeah, it's just there. We got 50% saying medium rare was the way to go for steak. We got one person one person said well done. 2 people said medium. I'm fine with medium. Medium is fine too. Just don't go into that medium well territory. Once you get into that territory, I don't like it as much. But yeah, medium rare all the way. That's how I like it. I don't even remember what the last question was. What do you like besides ramen? Let's get off the food topic. Oh no! I'm so sorry. Are you the only one that likes well done? No. T-Devil, you're not the only one. And don't be sorry. I guess here's the thing. You can have a good well done steak. It's just that I feel like when you go to restaurants and you ask for well done, to a medium rare lover, it's way past well done. Because I feel like most of the time they might not even get asked to do well done, so I don't remember. I do like watching some Food Network shows. I think someone said like a really good way to get a really juicy well done. I think it was Gordon Ramsay actually. You have to sous vide it. That way all the moisture stays in and it doesn't get cooked off. Get it into that internal temperature of well done. And then once you do that, you take it out of your sous vide bag and then you sear, really hard sear right over it. And then therefore you have a well done, no pink, super juicy. And I've never had a well done steak done like that. I don't even own a sous vide machine, but I guess you don't technically need it. You just need the bag and a thermometer. So I don't know. Maybe one of these days with Jason does. Jason attempts to cook sous vide. Let's see. I make my steak at home. A family member warned me about ordering one at a restaurant. And that's fair. That's very fair. Some people definitely have gotten food poisoning at maybe a not so good restaurant trying to do a medium rare. But I would say, I would have to assume if you went to like a higher end restaurant that it should be done quite well. But if you went to, if you went to a place like, I'm just throwing a name out here, I don't actually know. I've never been to Texas Roadhouse, is that what it's called? Texas Roadhouse or Texas Steakhouse? I've never been there, never been to Outback Steakhouse, so I don't know how they do their medium rare. But if you went to somewhere that was the equivalent of Steak and Shake, if they did a medium rare, probably should run. Actually, you know what? Guys, you know, we're still on the topic of food, since that's generally what I've been doing. Let me ask you this question. What's your favorite restaurant or fast food? Delegate Genius said she, you know, she has a DoorDash problem. So, Delegate Genius, I am counting on you to have some thoughts here. But let's see, what's your... Let me get this typed in correctly. What's your favorite restaurant or fast food? Speaking of food, I should probably take another bite and eventually get to the pumpkin pie that I have sitting here waiting. All right, give me 1 second. Buffalo Wild Wings. Crow, I have a fun story about my Buffalo Wild Wings experience. There was this promotion that happened, I think, sometime last year. It was a really good promotion considering today's economy. And it was like for $16, you could... Wow, that did not mute when I asked it to mute. Oh my goodness. I'm so sorry you guys heard that. So Buffalo Wild Wings, they had this promotion where for $16 you could have unlimited boneless wings and fries. So what I did, because I can eat a lot, I went there and I progressively got hotter and hotter and hotter sauces. And my waitress pretty much figured it out because as I was ordering and I kept going up the line, she's like, "You okay? You're gonna make it all the way to the top here?" I was like, "That's the plan." So when I got to the top, when I finally got to the spiciest sauce that they had, it was legitimately spicy, and it was a dry kind of spice. Like, it wasn't super saucy. It was like a dry rub of some kind. So it was like really, really spicy. And at that point, like, it was kind of winter, so I had to take my coat off because it was getting way too hot. And I went into that euphoria that you get if you eat way too many things that it's too spicy. So how that felt to me was I suddenly felt like my head was lighter and Buffalo Wild Wings has all their TVs and stuff, and I looked over at whatever game was playing, my vision was sharper and the colors were more saturated than I would have imagined. So apparently I had so much spice in my system that my vision got better. That, yeah, Buffalo Wild Wings. Fun story for you guys. Let's see here. Delegate Genius. All right, what do we got? Most of mine are local places: Greek, Vietnamese, Chinese, all the things. Fast food, I love Popeyes and Domino's. All right. Well, awesome that you're supporting your local places. I feel like in this day and age, we should be doing that, because there's some great, I feel like fast food, they just have a better marketing. You know, they have a name recognition. But if you really explore outside of that and try to find some local places, you're going to get a much better experience. The prices might be a little bit more expensive, but generally speaking, you're going to get a really awesome experience in terms of the food. So I'm glad that you support your local spots. Fast food, you love Popeyes and Domino's. I mean, Delegate Genius, I know you definitely saw my Hot Ones video, I'm pretty sure. And I don't know, Popeyes did not taste all that great to me. I'm not really sure if maybe it was just because I was ordering the Hot Ones menu, but at least the chicken wings and their chicken dipper finger stuff, I really couldn't taste anything. I really wish that it was better. But I do think I need to give Popeyes another fair shake, because I specifically, again, ordered their spicy rojo sandwich, which really wasn't that spicy. So I'm curious about their other chicken sandwiches. Not necessarily their wings or dippers, because that's probably all the same, but I would like to try out their other sandwiches. And Domino's, I mean, that was actually one of the first, between Domino's and Little Caesars, those were the pizzas that I grew up with the most. Surprisingly, they weren't my favorite at the time. I loved Pizza Hut. There's something about their the pan dish, all that extra grease and all that good stuff. Again, I love stuff that's not good for me. But Domino's, I think in the most recent years, has upped their game quite a bit. They're like herb and, yeah, is it like butter garlic herb crust or something like that? It's really good. So I'm a fan. T-Devil. It's a local place where I live called B1 Korean Barbecue. And I love getting beef bulgogi with rice paired with octopus kimchi and spicy miso ramen. I need to stop ordering it. It costs a lot of money. I mean, that sounds amazing. I love beef bulgogi. There is actually a new well, it's not new. There's a local chain here where I live, and they do like an all-you-can-eat, all-you-can-order, which technically is all you can eat, but they specifically say it's all you can order. You can't just like walk up and grab what you want. So they do all you can order sushi, or you can choose the all you can order hot pot. And they most recently decided they were going to get into the Korean barbecue game. So now you have the option for all you can order Korean barbecue. The pricing is not terrible. I think lunch is $18 and then dinner was $30. And the dinner menu gave you more stuff. Like lunch gave you like the Korean barbecue staples. You got your samgyeopsal and, you know, a couple other pork stuff, but I don't think they gave you the bulgogi. I think that you have to pay the dinner price for. Which honestly, for $30 and how much I can eat, I mean, I'm probably not going to actually be able to eat $30 worth of meat in one sitting, because they'll probably stop me. But I'm pretty sure I can make a decent enough dent. Whereas if I bought the beef, I could probably eat myself up to close to $20 worth, maybe. But yeah, it does cost a lot of money. Let's see. For Crow, spiciest buffalo wings level gave me a panic attack. Yeah. I mean, I'm very surprised that for a chain like Buffalo Wild Wings, where if you got their spiciest food, that it actually was spicy. Speaking of which, there is a Wingstops that don't think I've ever actually... No, I've eaten at Wingstops once. Someone ordered it for me. But I heard about their atomic sauce, I think it's what it's called. That's probably going to be a video in itself. Do you want to see Jason have an absolute panic attack if the atomic sauce is crazy? Because, again, that Hot Ones episode, which I actually still have a packet of here. Don't think you guys can really see that, but maybe you can. There we go. Still have a couple packets of this Hot Ones Apollo sauce. This thing ruined me. Absolutely ruined me. On the way in and on the way out. It was so freaking spicy. I'm gonna save some. I'm gonna save some for my sister. I'll be curious how she handles that spice. But these are some great questions, guys. Keep them coming. If you guys have questions, otherwise we're just chowing and chill. Maybe for like another 10-ish minutes or so. Because I'm also curious. I mean, I know this is the holidays too. So I originally wanted this to happen before the holidays, but scheduling just got away from me. So this was the only Saturday that I could find. But I think moving forward, I want to like practice my live streaming skills. This is, again, a very interesting learning experience for me because I have to interact. I have to also do all the hotkeys and trying to make this look okay. I need to change a couple of these things because I don't think I set it up as good as I could. So I think moving forward, live streams, maybe I'll do it on like a Friday. Friday, I feel like might be a good time. Saturdays, I feel like a lot of people have stuff they got to do. So, but I do appreciate all of you guys here for just, chilling with me, asking some questions, allowing me to learn with you guys on how to run this live stream. Because again, I have no idea why my camera didn't really show up, but other than that, I think next time it should be a much smoother stream. Okay, I see what's going on here. I love Wendy's spicy chicken nuggets as far as fast food goes. I got 2 spicy nuggets party pack, 50 nuggets per pack, all for myself. They are that good to me. You know, I've never had Wendy's spicy chicken nuggets. They might be really good. They might be really good. Maybe I need to do a Nuggies video. How about that? Jason finds the best Nuggies. And of course, everyone's going to be like, well, obviously Dino Nuggets, right? Dino Nuggets are the best Nuggies out there. All right, Delegate Genius. If you thought that was bad, I mean, T-Devil, it's not bad. You want it? You can totally have 50 or 100 nuggets. They're that good. I mean, I love nuggets. But fun story for you guys about nuggets. Well, I guess not nuggets, but boneless chicken wings. So, going back to Buffalo Wild Wings, Crow's favorite. So I do like to watch football. There was one year I went to Buffalo Wild Wings because none of my friends were having a party of sorts, and I didn't really want to watch it at home. So I went to Buffalo Wild Wings, and here's what happened. I went to Buffalo Wild Wings. I got a seat at the bar. I got there early enough so that I could find a seat. Got up to the bar. I don't even remember who was playing that year, but so there was a guy next to me, and you know, they're trying to order food, they're trying to get everything out, and I asked the waiter or the bartender, I said, hey, should I order all my food now, or should I order it as I go? Because I want to order like a decent amount of food for the whole game. Again, I can eat a lot. And he said, we get really slammed here. So if you try to order as you go, like it might not come out for 30 some minutes. So he recommended that it's probably a good idea for you to just order everything. And I said, okay. So this guy sitting next to me, we hadn't spoken one word yet. So I proceeded to tell my waiter, I said, okay, I want 50 wings. And I gave him my sauce order. And then the guy next to me thought that was it. And then I proceeded to order, I think, 2 burgers of sorts and then a drink. And so then the guy next to me was like, whoa, you're ordering yourself quite a spread here. I said, well, Super Bowl, it's a long game. I need food. And he's like, fair enough. So we're watching the game. I'm eating the food. And then I think by like after halftime or something like that, he looked over at me and he noticed that both of the burgers are gone. And I've already dented the wings by half. And he looks at me, he goes, Jesus, like are you planning to finish all of that? I said, well, yeah, I ordered it. He was flabbergasted. He was like, I don't know if you could finish those next 25 or so wings. I was like, oh, don't worry, bud. I can finish it. And yeah, by the end of the night, the end of the game, I had finished 50 wings, 2 burgers, and Lord knows how many times I refilled that drink. So it was, that is my nuggies story for you. It's a guilty pleasure. We all have guilty pleasures when it comes to food. So Delegate Genius, don't you go after my dude, T-Devil. Yeah. Let him have his 100 nuggies. We're here for it. But don't do it all the time. We got to be healthy here, all right? Once in a while, you can take down 100 nugs, but don't do it every day. Yeah. Let's see. Is there any other fun stuff that we can talk about? Again, I'm not sure. Let me also know in the chat, guys, like, is 4 p.m. a good time, generally speaking, for a live stream, depending on where you're at? Because I feel like it's just, you know, I don't really know how the streamers do it. I guess they probably cater to wherever they get the most amount of views. A good chunk of my views come from the United States. So I figured 4 o'clock kind of worked in a way. It kind of like covers the entire United States in their time zones where everyone's kind of okay on a Saturday. But maybe on a Friday, maybe if I do more Friday live streams, we can do closer to the later evening. But because I know some of the European viewers, they probably would have caught on maybe in the beginning of this, and that's about it. But otherwise, stuff that I need to learn for live stream is just how to get my hotkeys done correctly, and then making sure I look at the camera, because I don't want to look at this all the time. Again, I'm not a streamer, but this is probably a good practice for me, especially if I do a whole gaming channel, because somebody, I don't remember who asked me, somebody did say, like, you should consider doing a gaming channel. In which case, you know what? I guess we didn't really ask this question. So let's do that. What is your favorite video game? We talked about video games, but we didn't really talk about what you guys love to play. We only heard what I love to play. I would say if I did a video game channel, honestly, I would play through all my favorite like Super Nintendo games, which Earthbound was one of them, and that would take me a long time because I've only played it through once. But I'd probably actually do more retro game stuff. Probably not as much of the newer titles, especially Borderlands. That would take forever to get through. There's so much content. So probably start off with some platformers. Something that I can actually hopefully get through. But quite honestly, I haven't played in such a long time. I can't imagine I would be any good at it now. Like my reaction times would probably be terrible. Like absolutely terrible. Which was crazy because I think about it now, when I played Halo 2 on Xbox Live for the first time, I love playing the sniper character or using sniper weapons. That's like my favorite, to stay in the back and do some strategic gameplay for the team when we play capture the flags and stuff. But, oh, I see this. Delegate Genius, I see you. Hey, thank you so much for joining. I really appreciate you tuning in today and being my best friend. So thank you so much. We'll see you in the next one, and I will do better with my... oh! Thank you. Delegate Genius, thank you so much for that donation. That is... Again, all your donations go right back to the channel, so it's going to help. Thank you so much for that donation. I really appreciate it. And I'll see you in the next episode or the next live stream, whichever one comes first. Again, thank you so much. Where was I going with this? Oh, sniper character. Yeah, I would play as a sniper character. That was my favorite way to play. And my reaction time back then was so good. Like I was the team sniper for little group that I played with, all of which I did not know in real life. They were just people that I played, we were playing Slayers or something. I remember his username. His name was Toker Joker. And after I played his team or something like that, or no, I didn't play his team. I was on his team in a random capture the flag match. And, I had said like, I'm going to get the sniper rifle. I hope that's okay. And most people said like, yeah, that's fine. Like you go ahead and take the sniper rifle. And when we played whatever map we played, they realized that I was so good at sniping that they didn't actually need too many of our teammates to be in our home base flag. I kind of just stayed at home base in this one little spot that I had like 3 different spots that I would go between. And they realized that they didn't need so many people defending the flag. They just needed me and one other person. And between the 2 of us, like he would call out if he saw somebody on the left side or the right side. And then I'd be like, and within like milliseconds of me seeing somebody just kind of jumping and moving around, bam, headshot. And bam, headshot, left and right. So my reaction time back then was amazing. But if I play now, probably not amazing at all. Okay, you guys did talk here. Let me throw this in here. Mike comes in with Super Smash Brothers. Classic. Absolute classic game. Love it. All right, T-Devil, you're coming in with you love RPGs and magic-centric games. Currently, my game is Digimon Story Time Stranger. All right. I never quite got into Digimon. Like even the anime, I didn't quite get into it. But you love RPG and magic-centric games. I'm trying to think if there's like any that I would recommend. Not that I played a whole lot of them, but I mean, I do love RPGs. I listed off a couple of them in my Super Nintendo, Earthbound and Secret of Mana. I did really love Final Fantasy VII. I really do want to play Final Fantasy VI because I heard that one was just like an absolute brilliant RPG from back then, but I never got a chance to play it. So at some point, I hope I'll get to play that. But yeah, RPGs are a lot of fun. Mike also saying Golden Axe on Genesis. That was a great game. I remember playing it at a friend's house. But I hadn't played any of the... I think there was like a remake of it at some point. Days Gone. I don't think I know that game. Or don't think I've heard of it. Give me a second. Let me take a... The game is played from a third-person perspective. Okay. Okay. Explore a open world. You have your weapons. Okay. Not sure how well I would do with zombie games. Somebody asked me one time if I liked playing horror genre video games. That would be an absolute no. What video game was someone having me play? Was it Fear? There was something about like this little girl that kind of ran around, and I don't know. I tried playing it for like 2 seconds and I was like, my anxiety, my heart is pumping. I don't want a jump scare coming at me every so often. That's okay. I'm all right. Let's see. T-Devil coming in. In MMOs, I mainly play the heal type or ranged. Okay. I like hitting enemies from safe distance and when I can support them from the back as well. Yeah, T-Devil, you and I are the same. When I did play, when I played Dungeons and Dragons, I always played as a paladin. That was my favorite character type to play, and I always wanted to do like healing stuff. Kind of being like the team support, which is interesting that I would say I want to be a sniper, but I feel like when I play the sniping characters, it's technically a team support thing. Like you're trying to make sure that the attacking group is going to be able to make their way to the objective, and you get to be stealthy and fight from behind. I just feel like that's a really, really, it's a fun character to play. Which is weird because in Borderlands, Borderlands is different. I didn't play the sniper character in Borderlands 1. I played generally as like the soldier, just because he did have like some team effects that he could do while also being able to run and gun it. Which, speaking of, like in Halo 2, if somebody else wanted to be the sniper because they were better than me, which was perfectly fine, then I would love to be the people that rush to get the flag, because I was also a pretty good flag runner. Sorry, we're gonna go back to Halo 2 for a real second. When I was the flag runner, there was a very specific thing that I did, and I'm pretty sure it annoyed the living crap out of the opposing team. So my skill set as a flag runner, whether or not I had people with me when we rushed the base, it didn't matter. I would strategically throw a bunch of frag grenades or sticky grenades in such a way where it would like bounce off the wall into the room, but I would throw it from many different spots very quickly. So it made people think that, oh, I'm coming through this hallway, or oh, I'm gonna jump through this window, or oh, I'm gonna come from the top. So I would throw the grenades in all 3 openings to confuse the people inside as to which way I was actually gonna come in and grab the flag. But at the same time, because there's 3 grenades being thrown in there, they're all scrambling because they're like, ah, no, we're gonna die. We're gonna get blown up in here. And every time I got close enough, I had the headset so you could do the proximity voice thing. I gobbled like a turkey as I ran in with all the grenades exploding everywhere, grabbed the flag, and then just whooped my way out and hoping that a warthog was waiting for me outside. Because usually some guy would be driving the Warthog in circles as I ran in to go get the flag. So, gosh, those were some fun days. Halo 2 on Xbox Live. Crow said, yeah, that's fear. Okay. Yeah, I'm not playing that game. And Alex Top Gaming, love your content. Keep up the great work. I mean, thank you so much. I appreciate it. You know, we're hitting on 2 hours at this point. I feel like we're not going to get to pumpkin pie for me, but this was a great learning experience. Guys, I really appreciate you sticking around if you were here for 2 hours of just listening to me talk. But I also want to thank Crow. Actually, hold on. Let me just make sure. It's definitely Crow. Yeah, Crow and Delicate Genius. Guys, thank you so much for the super chat that, again, goes directly back into the channel, so it allows me to go make some other content. And since it's all food related, it basically helps pay for the food. But y'all, thank you so much for tuning in. I will do a much better job on the next live stream, and hopefully, you know, it'll go smoother. But other than that, I really appreciate you guys, and I will see you in the next one.